Hello, children of God, and a special welcome on this Christmas Eve. We just heard the story of Jesus being born in the manger. And I have to be very honest with you that when I was a little boy, I heard that story, and I always tried to figure out what swaddling cloths or clothes would be. What kind of clothing would a little baby wear that was called swaddling? I had no idea what that was. Now, when my three children were little, we had what I called miniature sleeping bags. You know, their arms come out, the zipper goes up, and we put them in that because they were safe and they couldn't brush it off in the middle of the night. But then I found out that swaddling cloths are a real thing. So I brought two pictures I wanted to show you. One is what it might have looked like when Jesus was born. These were literally pieces of cloth that were wrapped around the little baby, and you can see there's some hay around him. And I do remember each one of my children being wrapped kind of like that in blankets, which also kept them safe. You can't see their arms, you can't see their legs. They were wrapped, they were swaddled in cloths. I thought I'd read something to you that might help. It says, swaddling cloths are bands used in the practice of swaddling, or essentially wrapping an infant lightly and tightly in cloth. The idea behind swaddling is that it helps the baby transition from the womb, a very warm and snug place, to the outside world. Swaddling cloths are still used today, but with modifications. In general, swaddling has been proved to help infants sleep better. That's why I always get wrapped up in my blankets. To prevent from scratching themselves, and maybe even to reduce SIDS. In ancient times, like today, a swaddled infant was safe if they were wrapped and watched properly. In fact, there are a lot of cultures that still do that. Now, listen carefully. It says the biblical passage that refers to swaddling cloths says this, and she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling cloths and laid him in a manger. But I want you to also hear there's a second quote. It says when the angel spoke to the shepherds on the hillside, it says that you'll find the babe wrapped in swaddling cloths, lying in a manger. And that made me think, Christmas Eve, I'm wrapped in your love. I'm wrapped in the warmth of our poinsettias and our candles, and we sing carols in Silent Night. Maybe all the time we ought to remember that at least in our hearts we are wrapped, we are swaddled in the love of God because he surrounds us always. Have a blessed Christmas.